Step, the U.S. Capitol Police will open field offices outside the Washington, D.C. area. This has never happened before. They're investigating numerous threats made to members of Congress. Unfortunately, most of those threats are coming from Florida and from right here in California, and that's where those new offices will be located. Our Kitty Alvarado spoke with a terrorism expert and our congressman to find out more about this. She's in our satellite center tonight. Kitty, good evening. Some scary threats against our Congress, our members of Congress in the Senate, right?
Really scary, and you know, it really did come as a surprise to me that we even needed an office here in California, but experts who study those threats say it's not a surprise at all. Until January 6th, the day the U.S. Capitol was attacked, many outside of Washington, D.C. had not heard of the Capitol Police or their role. Since 1828, their principal duty has been to protect members of Congress. After the attack, they were forced to reassess their tactics and policy. In a statement, they said they would not just enhance security and pivot towards intelligence, but also open field offices in 2 states outside the Capitol. These offices will be set up in part to investigate growing threats to members of Congress, where most of the violent threats originate, Florida and California.
This is unprecedented.
Dr. Errol Southers, a former FBI special agent who worked in counterterrorism, says this decision wasn't made lightly.
But the fact that we have never had the United States Capitol Police deemed necessary to be on the ground outside of the D.C. metro area or the Hill certainly suggests that the intelligence that they're gathering and the information they're receiving must be significant to suggest or actionable to suggest that they have to do this.
We reached out to several Republican and Democratic members of Congress. The only one who responded was Congressman Raul Ruiz.
Yes, I have been threatened. My family has been threatened.
He was at the Capitol the day of the attack and gave us a phone interview where he and others were sheltered in a secure location.
We saw Capitol Police securing the location with their guns.
He tells us this field office is important to investigate and thwart future attacks.
In order to get the truth and prevent this from happening again.
Southers says California being selected as a field office location may come as a surprise to some, but not to experts like him.
We're always deemed a very progressive state. We have an interesting history. Back in the 80s, we were burning more crosses in California than they were burning in the South. Many people don't know that. We are a bastion of extremist organizations of all kinds of ideology.
Southers says having eyes and ears in places where threats come from is not a new strategy.
When 9/11 happened, many police departments in the country, police departments, had boots on the ground in other countries.
In a statement to NBC Palm Springs, the Capitol Police says more offices will be added in the future.
This is pretty significant, and I have to guess that once an office is here, it will not be leaving.
And the Department of Homeland Security also issued an increased threat alert on May 14th, also a very rare move. They are urging Americans to report threats and all suspicious activity, and we will be posting that information on our website, NBC Palm Springs. Live in the Satellite Center, Kitty Alvarado, back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you, Kitty. Coming up next, after a weekend with more than 360 shootings across the country, President Biden